I'm Josie,
And I'm Katie.
and this is Something Spookish.
This night has been the most full of technical difficulties that I have ever experienced.
Yeah,
Besides
it's.
from
Shall we try this again? Shall we say take two? Because our
yeah,
equipment is freaking out, and I kind of think it's because of the story that I'm telling about Ouija boards.
I'm a I'm not sure what to do because I think something that you don't remember that just happened was when we were trying to do the first time around. I called you like 6 times, and it went to voicemail every time. And so I called Jeffrey, and he picked up, and I'm like, "Hey, where's Josie?" And he's like, "She's recording." I'm like, "No, she's
She's in
not."
the closet. Yeah, my phone's not even on Do Not Disturb, or it wasn't at the time. So, oh, and it stopped recording exactly at 13 minutes.
That is so fucked up.
Anywho,
Yeah, so we got 13 minutes into the podcast and Josie's headphones died, even though, and you said you'd charge them all day.
yeah, I've been charging them all day. So there's been a lot of there's been some like energy draining things happening. I don't know entirely what's going on, but welcome, welcome. You're here for a scary
Welcome.
story. We're here to tell you a scary story. If you're watching us and seeing our faces, hey. If you're listening, hey, fantastic.
Hey. Hello. We're angry. I'm mad.
You won't be
So,
after I tell you this fantastic story.
okay, then I'll be scared
Yeah,
and delighted. Okay, great.
that's more
I
the
cannot believe this.
that's more the mood we're going for. So I feel like this does just put us straight in the mood. And without further ado, I'm gonna talk to you about Ouija boards and how are they created? What is a Ouija board? What are the
Stupid Ouija
experiences?
boards.
Yeah, stupid Ouija boards. What are the
How dare you
experiences?
curse my episode?
So
I'm
rude.
so upset. I feel like this is personal. It's not.
It's not. It
It's
might
fine.
be. I've never played with
It
a
might
Ouija
be.
board, so there shouldn't be anything after me. But anywho, um,
Well, and I just want to make sure that nothing is missed that we said before. Like how
don't
you
worry
don't
about it.
recommend them.
Wow, you're
I'm
you're
worried
fun.
about
You're
it.
funny that you think I would forget saying that again.
Thank
So no,
goodness.
I warning to everybody. While I'm going to be talking about Ouija boards, I might ask for stories of your Ouija board experiences if you have one. Do not use Ouija boards. I only want stories that were from your past. Don't go out and use it just to see what happens. Because you know what? I just don't feel like it's worth tempting fate. Because like there's a 5% chance that something good happens, but the 95% chance that it's not good. So why tempt it? Don't use it. I don't recommend it.
On the first time you were giving me this warning, I was like, yeah, that's a good warning. And now the second time I'm hearing it, I'm like, huh, maybe there's something to this for real. Hmm.
Well, I'm excited
The
to.
Ouija board doesn't want you to give warnings, it wants to be used.
It's like to use me, let me
Use
in.
me.
Well, and I want
Shush,
to
Josie.
hear your crazy story about Ouija boards, but don't you want to know the history of the board?
I sure do.
Don't you now? Okay, well, here we
Don't you
go.
know? I was waiting for that. Thank you.
Don't you know? Well, here we go. Step one, the history of the boards. The Ouija board first appeared in the late 1800s, and the first board sold was in a Pittsburgh toy shop. For those of you who don't know, a Ouija board is a board with letters A through Z and numbers 0 through 9, words yes and no, and then the word goodbye at the bottom of the board. You play with a teardrop shaped planchette used to move around the board, and there's a little window in the middle of it so you could view the letters. And this is the same board that we see today. So not much has changed aside from like the material that we use to make it.
And we're just not sure where its like deep origins are from, like whether it's um like ancient like Europeans or Asians or like we have no idea where in the world.
So I'm
That'd be my
sure
curiosity.
that a lot of different cultures have different types of similar communications like this. However, this was the first. I mean, it was the first time anything was ever sold was in Pittsburgh. So I'm sure there was happenings of it beforehand. Yes.
Previous happenings, and wouldn't it isn't it just so American that we turned it into a board game?
Oh yeah. Well, and it kind of makes sense for the times, but I'll get there. I get there. Well, and actually, the makers of the first board, they actually asked the board what they should call it, and the board said its name was Ouija.
Mm-mm.
So it named itself.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it
Don't
did.
like that.
Oh, but it
Don't
did.
like it when things name themselves.
Well, and then they were like,
It's not a good sign.
"What does that mean? What does Ouija mean?" And the board replied, "Good luck," which I don't think is a
Yeah,
good
was
thing.
Ouija even a word before that?
It's got to be because it means good luck. I don't know. Don't ask me
You
too
need,
many questions.
I'm gonna ask you all the questions. So either means good luck, or you're gonna need good luck because you're screwed now.
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Okay, great,
In
as I
19
expected.
yeah, in 1891, the board was described as Ouija, the wonderful talking board. The toy shop that was selling it also described it as a magical device that answered questions about the past, present, and future with marvelous accuracy and promised never failing amusement and reaction for all the classes. A link between the known and the unknown, the material and the immaterial. Another advertisement in a New York newspaper declared it interesting and mysterious. Are you hooked?
I'm hooked. I think it sounds like fun.
It does sound, yeah, they're pulling you in. You're like, wow, that is one way to sell it, and I want in.
That'd be the most fun. I'd be like, yes. And I like how they mentioned for all the classes,
It's for
you
all
can be
ages.
poor and
All
enjoy this.
You don't need a lot of money. You don't need to be young, old, any race,
You,
poor,
you don't need to be
rich.
rich.
It's for
You don't need to be well
everybody.
off. You can be middle class. We don't care. Have yourself some Ouija board.
Have yourself some. So the Ouija board was marketed as both mystical oracle and also as family entertainment. It was supposed to be fun with an element of otherworldly excitement. And I think they nailed that. Mm-hmm.
I'm sold.
Just family fun night, Ouija night, family fun Ouija night. I love
Family
it.
fun Ouija.
Family fun Ouija. Let's talk to grandma. So bad.
Oh my god. It's so
Still
dark.
so morbid. Yeah.
Still so great.
Wow. Okay. So now we meet Elijah Bond, and he's a Baltimore attorney. Believe it or not, he's getting into the happenings of the spooky board. And he was one of the first ones to patent the Ouija board. And we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, a man named Charles Kennard of Baltimore, Maryland, pulled together a group of 4 other investors, including Elijah Bond, to start the Kennard Novelty Company to exclusively make and market the Ouija board. So they wanted it all for themselves. Sounds a little slimy, but
Greedy.
uh-huh.
Wow.
Now, the patent file from the United States Patent Office shows that the office required the board to be tested before a patent would be granted. They had to prove that it worked. Um, so basically, the story behind
That it
this,
was magic?
yeah, moving on.
They
It
had to
was
prove that it was
magic.
magic.
That it is magic.
Well, I'm again upset that we had to re-record this because I remember being shocked that you had to patent the part where it was mystical because I could see you having to patent. We have the letters of the alphabet on a board with these numbers and this planchette and the word goodbye. Like I
Yeah.
thought you could patent that. I didn't know that they had to patent the part where it was like mystical.
Well, so they don't have to patent the part that it's mystical, but they had to prove that it worked with how they said it worked.
It said it could answer questions.
No, that it can move without. anybody else's influence.
Oh, okay.
And or that like yeah, that it could predict things or answer stuff. But I think the main thing was that it would move without without influence and also answer things accurately.
That is mystical.
So how are they going to do that, you might ask? Well,
That I do.
Bond is going into the office and he is like there the patent officer is basically like, "Okay, I'll give you a patent if this board can spell my name." And Bond doesn't know his name in theory, but he's an attorney, so he probably does. But whatever. We're just going to so he goes in, and the
Okay.
board spells out this patent officer's name. And then on February 10th, 1891, a white-faced and visibly shaken patent officer awarded Bond a patent for his new toy and or game. He did it.
Ooh, sneaky. He did it. He sold it anyway.
He got it.
We don't know. We don't know how mystical he was, but he was convincing. It
Well,
sounded like he really spooked the patent officer.
he did. He did. And he didn't, so he just had to prove that it worked, not how it worked. And so on the patent, that drew a lot of intrigue from everybody all around because they were like, how is this working? So there was a lot of mystery and intrigue around the game. And ultimately, it became a fantastic moneymaker for the company. Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Really smart
That would be
marketing.
it sounds like you're selling a magic board.
Yeah, that is what
Yeah,
they're selling.
I'd buy that.
Me too, but don't because I'm scared.
But why?
In theory, it sounds like a great idea.
Sure does. Sounds like the best idea.
Everything in my heart and soul tells me to go the opposite way of a Ouija board. Just don't
Yeah,
trust
but when you
it.
hear about it, with the way it was marketed,
I
sounds
know it sounds
fantastic.
delightful. You're like, check it out. Well, and everyone else at the time thought it was delightful too, because spiritualism was becoming a very big thing, and many people were very interested in contacting the other side, you see. Now, this movement kind of came at the time where the average lifespan was less than 50 years of age. Women died in
Oh, wow.
childbirth, children died of disease, men died in the war. Even Mary Todd Lincoln, the wife of Abraham Lincoln, president, conducted seances in the White House after their 11-year-old son died of a fever in 1862. Mrs.
Oh, that I've heard
Lincoln.
of.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, the White House is super haunted, especially Lincoln's like room. And man, do I want to? I might have to do some research into that.
That'd be a good one.
It's an old house.
Yeah, really old house, full of charged, energetic happenings.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so Mrs. Lincoln is doing it. So now everybody's going to do it, right? Trend setting. And it was not uncommon
Oh,
to like have seances back then. Like seances were very surprisingly kind of just a normal thing to do.
I mean, that's kind of cool to
1800s.
hear because I didn't realize, for some reason, I always thought that the interest in the paranormal was kind of recent. I don't know why I thought that, because it's not.
No way. People were fascinated. Probably even more fascinated. Like imagine like figuring out like how people die and like what makes us die. Oh my god, mayhem. People just being so curious.
Just mayhem. What's it like on the other side? And now you're saying I have a board that will tell me the answers. I
Mhm.
can ask a dead person
Yeah.
what it's like.
What is it like? I don't think I wonder if anyone has asked that. I don't know.
I'm sure, of course they have. What is it like to be dead?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would have seen more accounts of like what the spirits would have replied, and there's very little. It's normally just scary stuff. Or
Hmm.
or really it is like telling future, present, past. It's not like, what's your
Hmm.
experience like over there, buddy? I think it's a lot more like self-interest.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well,
I would be, yeah. Well, I feel like it's still serving self-interest. I'd be like, what's it like? Because I want to know. Because what's it going to be like for me? But really, you only know what it's like to be in whatever dimension that is being contacted.
Brilliant. Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Genius.
I don't know. I just keep thinking of like, well, are you only contacting the fourth dimension where people's spirits are stuck? I don't know. Will I find out? Are you going to tell me?
No, I'm actually not, but I hope
All right,
that you
cool.
I hope that you figure it out.
I'm gonna speculate over here by
That's
myself.
fine. You text me when you figure out the answer.
Okay.
I told you it didn't have enough time to go that. I mean, I went deep. I did go deep.
I need every answer.
The
I'm sorry, I
history of
always
the
attack
Ouija
you with
board
questions.
is insane. You
Insane.
pull a little bit of weight yourself over there, okay? You type in that Google
Hey.
Doc, okay? What is it like
Wow.
on the other side? Question mark.
Maybe
Ponder.
I'm gonna try. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
gonna go against your wishes. Maybe I'm gonna ask the Ouija board.
Caitlin, don't do it.
Okay.
I'm so scared for your
We'll see.
well-being.
You will have to convince me. Why? But why?
You are a rebel. Like, I don't get scared.
I told you I'm mad. I'm mad that we've been curtailed. So now I'm feeling like,
Dude, this
I
is
don't know what the word
its
is.
ploy to get you to play. Don't feed
It's
into it.
working. I'm mad. I'm like, I need answers. And maybe I will do it.
All right, well,
I don't know. Maybe it is working.
then this story is for you. Keep listening.
Okay, I'm listening.
Now, during the Civil War, that's how we say that. Spiritualism gained a whole. I mean, it just got even bigger and bigger, and people were really desperate to connect with their loved ones who had gone to war and never come home. So it was a really big way to like connect with people that you're like, what happened? Because back in the day, a lot of.
Whoa.
I'm just joking.
I'm gonna need you to calm down.
I'm just throwing stuff around now. But that's me. Like
Everybody's rebellious.
Yeah, I would do that too. I would, if I didn't know what happened to someone, I would try to contact, and so I get that, and that's makes sense on why it was
definitely
such on the up and up. Now, at this time, the company had 6 factories, and they were spread out through Baltimore, Chicago, New York, and even London. Like, this was massive.
And all they did was make Ouija boards?
That's all they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Ouija.
Ooh. I don't feel like
Don't
you
say
should
it
have said
3
that 3 times. Oh, God. Ew, get it off.
Get it off of me.
Why did you look into that corner?
I told you there's a big old corner in my closet, and it does scare me. This is a great place to do podcasts. There's definitely a portal in here. Okay.
Oh my God.
Moving on.
That's where I swear that's where your AirPods went.
My AirPods did go into a portal. I haven't seen them in like 6 months. Okay. Moving on. By 1893, a guy named William Fold, who started working at the company as an employee and then became a stockholder, and he was now running the company. So go William. Not a whole bunch of information on him, but he did eventually die in 1927 after a freak fall from the roof of his new factory. A factory, he said, the Ouija board told him to build.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of strange.
It is interesting.
So, why were you on the roof?
Good question.
Why'd you fall off the roof?
Also a good question.
Why did you consult the Ouija board for advice on your business?
On your building expansions.
Why did you listen? I have a lot of questions.
Those are some good questions. Again, I hate to break it to you. We'll never know.
That's okay. I was just throwing them out into the ether.
Yeah. Someone's going to get it somewhere. They'll be like, oh, this is the answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and then in the 1910s and 20s, with the devastation of World War I, and then we had the Jazz Age and Prohibition, there, again, continued to be a huge rise in buying Ouija boards. So it seemed to be like kind of every time people were like suppressed a little bit, Ouija board shot up, which is an interesting correlation.
Oh, I wonder if sales went up during the pandemic.
Oh, we should check that out. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. You're bored out of your mind? Who are you going to call? Grandma.
Oh my god!
That's awful.
You have to stop. Grandma's gonna be mad at
I want
you.
grandma.
Yeah, but what if it's not grandma?
That's what I'm saying. That's what don't do it. Don't
Okay.
do it. Because it's most
Okay.
likely not grandma. Grandma's where she should be, living her best afterlife possible, not even giving a futz about the Ouija. She's like, oh, did someone call me? Fuck you. I'm busy.
Did you say a futz?
She had not one
I
futz.
really, I really liked that.
Oh, thank you. You
A
can
futz.
borrow it
Can I
sometime.
have it?
Take it.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is someone having a futz today? Most people I find have at least one futz once a day.
Can you be out of futz to give for the day? Maybe that's something to work towards. Sorry, please go on.
Maybe that's something to work towards. Anywho, yeah. So it's still very popular. But so many people having Ouija boards, we're going to get a few accounts of people's experiences. So in 1921, the New York Times reported that a Chicago woman was being sent to a psychiatric hospital. She tried to explain to doctors that she wasn't suffering from mania, but the Ouija spirits had told her to leave her mother's dead body in the living room for 15 days before burying her in the backyard.
Can I
Maybe don't take
can
advice
I
from a
ask?
Ouija board, as we've already stated.
I have some questions. I need to stop with my questions. Her mother was already dead, though, correct? She did not kill her mother?
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what her mother was dead from, but she was dead. And then she left her on the floor. Somehow she was caught
Because the Ouija board
because the
said
Ouija
so.
board said so. It was like, no, she needs to be here for 15 days and then you can bury her in the backyard.
Oh, I don't. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Don't take advice from a Ouija board. Okay.
You didn't know what to do? You didn't know what to do with your mother, your dead mother?
That's what I'm
You
going
didn't know what
to.
to do.
Maybe there's a reason the psychiatric hospital is a part of this.
Okay.
Anyhow,
Cool.
I hope she was all right. In 1930, a newspaper gave accounts of two women in Buffalo, New York, who murdered another woman, supposedly on the encouragement of the Ouija board messages.
What?
What's
That's not
happening?
cool. What's happening? And whatever, that is some bullshit. You wanted to murder that woman anyway.
Yeah, because you don't just like flip the switch and you're like, I'm going to murder this person now
Yeah,
because something
no
told me. You got
way.
to have an inkling in you, at least a little bit.
Yeah, and you're like, did it say yes? It said yes. Yeah, no, it definitely said yes. We're gonna go kill her now.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, we got the green light. Let's go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's no.
Well, and with these things coming out, the board was still popular as hell. In 1967, the year after Parker Brothers bought the game from the Fold Company, the man who passed away from falling off the roof of that company, that factory. 2 years after these new people bought it, it had 2 million boards sold, and it outsold Monopoly.
No.
Yes, Monopoly.
I was wondering about
Nothing.
Monopoly and its comparison.
Yeah, now,
Not
that question I do have answered.
you answered my question and I hadn't even asked it.
Monopoly,
Wow.
it doesn't have shit to hold to the Ouija.
That's too bad.
Monopoly is a little bit more wholesome, a little bit longer, but a little bit more wholesome.
A little bit. That's why they don't want it. They want the one that's
Yeah,
unwholesome.
we like the danger. We love an aspect of danger. We do. I do, but don't do it.
Yeah. You're not making a very good case to not do it. You're making a good case to go do
I've already said don't do it, so if you do it, I don't care, and it's on you.
it. It's on you. Even though you're making it so tempting, it's totally on you.
Someone
Don't push the button,
made
Josie.
me a potion. Miley, shout out, hi Miley. She made
Hi, Miley.
made us potions, and I was like, oh, what's my potion? She was like, it's a combination of the brightest light and the darkest dark, and I was like, that is me. God,
Oh my
girl,
God.
I love you. You nailed that. That is me.
It was so on point.
So there
It
you
was
go.
amazing. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna burn it? Or are you gonna what are you gonna do with it?
She's next to my bed for the time being, so I can put good thoughts into her.
I like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the brightest of bright and the darkest of dark, and it's up to you to decide what to do
You
with
know
it.
what?
It's not my
You're
job.
like a yin and this is why one of our logos is that yin and yang.
Yin and yang
Because that's
ghosts.
you.
Always
Yeah.
spooky, but bright and dark.
Bright
Thanks.
and dark. Wow.
Thanks.
I'm gonna have to create a cocktail in your honor
Oh,
that certainly
please.
follows that.
Enough about me now. Get out of here, Josie. Tell me
Ah,
about the Ouija.
tell me about the Ouija Josie.
In 1958, a Connecticut court decided not to honor, how do I put this? The Ouija board will of Miss Helen Dowpeck, who left only $1,000 to two former servants and an insane $100,000 to Mr. John Gale Forbes, a lucky but unfortunately bodiless spirit who contacted her via the Ouija board. That is the best story that I found. Oh my god. This lady's just
What am I
like,
supposed to do with that, Josie?
well, I will
What am
say,
I?
if you take any lesson from that, it's that you cannot put dead people in your will because the courts will not honor it. And
Well, what a great lesson.
that's the first lesson. I would be so, I mean, it's just kind of like a slap in the face. Here's $1,000, servants. Guy that
Thanks for all
contacted
your
me
work.
when I was playing the Ouija board. Here's $100,000. Treat yourself
This
in
lady doesn't seem very nice.
in the
Maybe that's
afterlife.
why she didn't have anyone to leave her money to. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe she was just like, screw you guys. That's disappointing.
Yeah, she said, "Futz you."
Foots you. Wow. Yeah, it's coming into play now. But
Oh,
they, yeah, courts don't care. So
well, good. At least someone's being
someone's being
rational.
logical, thank God. Some people have even become famous off of the books or famous off of books and poems that they've written that they claimed to have written through through the Ouija board. Whether the Ouija board spelled out everything, or they asked him about like there a whole bunch of famous poems and a few novels.
Really?
Yes, don't
I
ask
didn't
me to
know
name
that.
them, but they are there.
Oh, you saw the question in my eyes.
I did, and I was like,
I was
I'm
like,
not
Josie, uh,
ready.
tell me a poem, Josie.
I swear to God, if you look it up, I'm sure you can find some. I know there was like a
Listen, that's
famous
hard.
lady, so go women, who did this, but that's all I
Yeah.
got. I just remember reading about her, and I was like, I can't put this in. There's too much, but it's a thing.
It's okay.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna have to go look for it now because I'm curious. But I'm a little scared. We'll see.
Tell me your poems, Otherworld.
I guess. Ugh. Demon poems.
Nasty.
Ugh. Ew.
Now, while things were on the up and up, things did eventually change. Surprisingly, when The Exorcist came out in 1973, that changed like everything for the way we think about the other realms, ghosts, anything that kind of the satanic panic this led into, blah, 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 blah. People were getting freaked out by this movie because in the movie, The Exorcist, the girl, Reagan, the very first scene is her playing with the Ouija board, and that's how something attaches to her and she gets possessed. Um, so it's like a very minor bit of the movie, but that's how she ends up getting possessed. And the rest of the movie is like pretty scary for its time. And so people
Oh,
were
wow.
like, "Oh my god. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Blasphemy. Have it be gone."
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know that because, as you know, I shy away from the scary movies. Have you seen that version of The Exorcist?
Yes, that's probably the one I've mentioned the most that I've seen on the podcast because it messed me up when I was little.
Oh shit, I need to pay attention.
Yeah, jeez.
I've been here.
I can
I've been
keep track of
listening.
myself. It would be nice if someone else could keep track of me for once. Jeez.
Listen,
Hey.
listen, Josie. I will work on it.
Thank you.
You did answer that one question I had, but I will say that it's interesting that that was the thing that kind of sparked people being freaked out, because if it was part of the movie, someone knew it was happening. Someone knew it was freaky.
Well, and to be fair, all those things had already happened, so there was like a lot of negative stories already coming out about it, but the fascination was still huge. And it's not like that deterred people from using it, but it just stopped becoming like family fun night and hey, wholesome contacting of the dead and check out the answers of the future and the past. Whoa, no, it got way more used to by people who were truly interested in kind of ghosts, the scary stuff, and it became a little bit taboo. And it's obviously the fact that I'm like, don't freaking touch it. I am a, I am a, I'm. That's what they've created. I'm scared. Don't use it.
Wow. If you're scared, that kind of does say something.
Now I do have a devil's advocate at the end because I like to be fair. So there is a logical explanation as to why this board works, which makes a lot of sense. But for the time being, you're on the ride, so we're just gonna soak in and have fun.
Ahoy.
Well, again, I say, yes, I know they're still popular today, but if we've learned anything at all in this podcast, it's that in this podcast, in the podcast, it's that we do not tempt evil. Why even try?
Don't be mocking it.
Oh, God, no. So,
Yeah.
in hopes to deter you, my dear, and everyone else who's listening from ever touching one, I will be sharing a plethora of short stories written into various news and magazine companies, places, by those with real experiences playing the Ouija. Please stop me if you have questions. Oh,
Ooh.
and these are a lot of like
I probably shouldn't.
really tiny short stories. So they're going to be in kind of different tenses. Okay. And I
Okay.
think there's a lesson for each of these. So the first lesson is say frickin' goodbye. Say goodbye. Okay?
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Okay. A 16-year
Oh my
old.
God,
Oh, are you
Josie.
okay? Is there something
I
behind
don't
me?
know. No, there was something that just went by the camera,
Shut up.
and I thought it was your hair,
Shut
but
up.
I don't think I.
Shut up.
Oh my God, I'm really sorry.
How dare you?
I'm really sorry. It like
What is it? What did it look like?
listen.
I have
It
to.
looked like a hair kinda, but it floated up into the left.
Okay, well, listen. I have a really fuzzy cat, and her hair is ever all over everything. So
Okay. All right. No, see, it's probably that.
it could
It's
be.
probably that.
You're
I'm sorry.
gonna, you're
Please go
gonna
on.
kill me.
I'm so sorry. This video thing was not a good idea.
I
I'm
don't want
so
to
sorry.
see.
I'm sure it was just one of Alice's hairs. I'm so sorry. Please keep going.
Okay, well, now that I'm all amped up
Mhm.
to tell you,
Yeah.
a 16-year-old found an old school Ouija at a thrift store. So, one that was made of the original material, wood, old school Ouija board. It was made of real wood, not paper, and she was super intrigued with it. So, she took it home. Her and her gal pal were playing with it, but nothing was happening. So, they gave it up, left it on the bed, went out for snacks. Now, there's no
Good.
window open, there's no draft, no AC, and there's no fan. So there's nothing that could have caused this. But when they came back with their snacks, The board was working on its own. The planchette was traveling all over the board, and the word it spelled out was reportedly very foul. Don't need to repeat it here. For a minute, they just stood there and watched it spelling out that word several times, and then one of them, rightfully so, finally scooped it up and broke it, covered it with salt, and got rid of it in a safe place.
They didn't say goodbye?
No, they didn't say goodbye, but at the same time, that's why that's the point of the story. Say goodbye. Weird.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we don't know if that worked then. We don't know
We don't know.
if that worked. Ooh, that's really freaky. Ooh.
But I feel like they would have
Wh-
written more if it had not worked, you know?
And then were you saying, I'm sorry, I was really distracted by the thing that I
By the
saw in the
ghost in
camera,
my
so
by the ghost in my closet.
potentially so.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just a cat hair. But are you saying that like they got bored because nothing was happening?
Yeah.
Um, it was a trap. It's a trick.
And it was like, ooh, now I'm ready to take over. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't want you to say goodbye.
Says
To be
I'm
like, yeah,
here to
no, be
stay.
bored.
So
Okay, creepy.
just say goodbye. And I like a lot of these are just like kind of like kids being like, ah, well, let's see what happens. And then like, we paused in the middle to go heat up some pizza rolls, and I'm like, what are you doing? Ouija and pizza rolls? Dear
How
God,
irresponsible.
what the kids these days? How do I reach
Listen,
these kids?
no one's gonna know our South Park references.
Oh, but it's so good. I'm just surprised. Like kids, good. No, what?
Have your pizza rolls. Just say goodbye.
Yeah,
Come back.
exactly. Just play responsibly. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I feel like this next rule of thumb is, just take it cereal if you're gonna be doing it.
Super cereal?
Just take it super cereal.
Okay.
My ass is gonna be so haunted. I feel it. I'm scared. Okay.
Oh my god, what are you talking about?
I'm just like hyping myself up, and you scared me. This is a good thing though.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I could have not said anything.
Well, I'm glad you did, because here we are. It makes for some
Okay.
great content.
Great.
How much can we scare
Over a cat
Josephine?
hair, most likely. Just the cat
Exactly.
hair.
See,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we tend to do.
Yeah.
12th graders. Okay.
Yeah.
12th graders at the time. It was a group of guys and girls playing the Ouija. One girl who had played with the board before was in the group, and her hands were on the planchette with her other girlfriend and a few other people. Now, the planchette was moving like crazy fast, and it seemed to be getting quite agitated by the group of guys that were, with her, and they were kind of joking around and they were not taking it seriously. It essentially told them to shut up and stop talking. And then one girl told the guys, seriously, please stop being rude. I'm getting like freaking freaked out. Because she was getting so nervous, one of the guys took over and he was a bit more serious about it. Almost immediately, the thing spelled out, don't open the door. Well, they were all in the basement and there was only one door, so they all kind of looked over at it nervously. One girl took the blanket and kind of hid her face. Immediately, the board spells out, don't hide from me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. So everyone is freaked out. And the guy who had his hands on the planchette literally started to cry. He wanted to take his hands off, but they had this rule that you don't take your hands off until you say goodbye. At least you're following the rules.
Good roll.
Yeah. Everyone
So just
wanted
go
to
say
stop.
goodbye.
Yeah, just you got to get it to say goodbye, but it has to say goodbye, right? So it took about
Does it
10
though?
minutes of them asking some pretty dumb questions until it finally slid to goodbye. So they did get it to say goodbye, but I don't like that it said don't hide from me.
Really, 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 really hate that.
That would scar me. That would absolutely scar me.
Oh my god, I'd be like, yeah, it can see you.
If any of these alarm you at all, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. The reason these are so short is because they're so freaking mini. I'm trying to tell you. Save yourself. Choose life. Don't do it.
Can I have some more?
Oh, yes. Okay. This this next one, I was like, what am I getting out of this? Maybe don't
Oh,
use it alone. Don't use the board alone.
oh, that's a good rule.
Yeah, that's another rule. I was 17 and we had just bought one of those newer Ouija boards that glow in the dark. Side note, I even saw a Barbie Ouija board. Fuck me.
No, you
I
didn't.
did. And then I saw a mini Barbie Ouija board that you could buy for your Barbie. Barbie can play Ouija. Barbie can play Barbie Ouija.
A doll can play doll Ouija?
Dude, that is so oh no, that's creepy. That's next level. What if my
That is a
dolls are
whole.
what if we're playing the Ouija and then the doll starts playing the Ouija? I would never want to walk into that.
I feel like there's an experiment there, though.
There is something to test in the future.
Yeah, not me.
No, so and hey, listen, and I said don't do it, so don't do it. I know these ideas are just sparking.
I'm like, hey, here's a great idea. Someone go
It's
do
so
that.
well, it's so tempting when you want to be in the world of spookiness and you're like, man, what are the things that I could experience? But it's all gonna scar
Well,
me.
I just want to hear about them. I don't want to do them. I just want someone else to do
And to
them.
contemplate doing them but never do it.
Well, and just hear how it went,
Yeah. That that's why
you
we're
know?
here. That's why we're
And
here.
hopefully it goes wrong and it's really freaky and then I can hear about
Unfortunately,
it.
the ultimate want. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
this one
okay. All right.
this one glows in the dark, you see.
Great.
Uh
Great.
Now, my mom told me to wait until the next day to open and play with it, and I should have listened because you're not supposed to use the board alone. And our house was known for being haunted. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so just use the board, why don't ya?
That was a bad idea.
So I wanted to
What?
ask if anyone was there, and the frickin' planchette shot out of my hands across the room, and then I actually cried. I will not be using the board.
You didn't say goodbye.
She didn't even have a chance to start. It was like, boop, fuck you.
Oh my god, what if? Okay, what if whatever was there, whatever's haunting her house, what if it's a normal ghost? Like a human ghost is what I is what I mean.
Wow. Yeah.
And the human ghost was like, "Absolutely not.
You don't want to make contact with
Absolutely not.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, do not play the Ouija board
Because something
in
will
my
get
house.
you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
don't bring that into my I'm in the 4th dimension. Don't you be bringing other things into my 4th dimension. Don't do it."
That's interesting. It's
That's
actually
my
super
theory.
interesting. That makes sense.
Mhm.
I like your
Yeah,
theory.
yeah.
So don't use it
I'm here to
alone.
speculate.
Yeah, don't use it alone.
She wasn't alone, there was a ghost.
Helping her out.
Yeah, being
have
like,
a
"No.
have a buddy.
No, Becky."
This story is that is called, it may return. Okay?
You know.
You know, a simple return of the board. My mom told me that when she was just a kid, she and her sisters were messing with a Ouija board in her room, and my grandma caught them and told them to throw it out. She said that they did indeed get rid of it by throwing it in the garbage outside. But the next morning, my mom went into her closet and found the board was somehow back inside. I've heard of that too. Like there was another story about um this girl, and she was driving to a party and had the Ouija board in her trunk, and like her friends knew that she was bringing it, and she got in a car crash on the way to the party with the Ouija board in the trunk, and her car was totaled. And so they took the car away. When she got home the next day, the Ouija board was back in her house. And I've heard of like a few others where people have like
Wow.
tried to like burn Ouija boards and they come back, or they do try to throw them out and they come back.
Well, what are you supposed to do with it then?
I do
Like, how do
think
you get rid of it?
I think most people have success burning it, but I don't know.
If you don't have success burning it, then you need help.
You have a serious problem. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in trouble. That's really freaky. If that's true, that's freaky.
Ooh. Well, and then it's not all bad. I actually read quite a few positive Ouija stories. But at the same
Oh.
time, I'm only going to give you one. Because don't do it. You only
Okay,
get one.
okay. I was gonna say, oh, should I do it?
Nope. Oh,
Don't do it.
is there a chance
Do
for
it?
me? No, there's not. It's very
Do it?
unlikely. So here,
Do it.
you know what, Caitlin? Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
But don't do it.
Okay.
I'm going to come body slam you
Okay.
before you even have a chance.
Oh, I feel so loved. Thanks.
You're welcome. I got you. Okay, so I once played with a Ouija board at a sleepover. We weren't asking anything weird, just silly questions like, who am I going to marry? And I asked it to give me the initials of someone I will date in the future, and it gave me an N and a B. And sure as shit, I've dated someone with the initials NB for 5 years now. Boom, future
Oh,
telling.
wow. That's cute.
Magical.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah, so
What a story.
that's a
See,
nice
that's why
one.
you do the Ouija board. Because you want stuff like that to come up.
That's probably why people are most likely trying to play with the Ouija board. Well, and while you might want to talk to the Ouija board, sometimes it doesn't want to talk to you.
What?
Yep, this
Nuh-uh.
one's kind of my favorite. My best friend and I bought a Ouija board, and we took it to her house. We asked a few questions, and there were no answers. We finally outright asked, "Is there anyone here who would like to talk to us?" The planchette slowly moved over the letters N O. No. And I love that it was just like, no. I
Well,
haven't been.
isn't there a yes and a no? And it decided to spell it out?
Yeah, it spelled it out.
Okay.
It was being real basic. It was like, yeah, no. No.
We're here. We're not talking to
Yeah,
you.
yes, I am here. And I don't want to talk to you. Bummer. Thanks for asking.
Ouch.
No.
Ooh.
Now,
Ouch.
they were freaked out because there was obviously a spirit there. And so they tried again, which you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should just listen to it, but okay. So they said, "What's your name?" And the planchette moved to SH over and over and over again, spelling shh. It was like, it's like,
Really?
yes. It's like, no. Like, just shh. You hush your little face over there. It's not happening.
Shh.
It's not
Like
happening.
shh shh
I
shh
don't want to
shh.
talk to you.
That would
It's,
be that'd be the thing to do.
I mean,
That'd be the good move to do if you were the spirit.
that is one hell of a move. And honestly,
It's a power move.
it's a power move. I just so confident, so strong. Your boundaries are in
So
place.
sure.
So sure. Um, yeah.
Well, I feel like it's the spirits that you want to talk to that may not be that talkative or may not want to talk to you, and then it's the things that you really don't want to talk to that like do want to talk to you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's the norm. So just keep that in mind for if you decide to do it or not. Uh so they said goodbye, and it said goodbye. They closed the board, and they knew they decided to leave the room because obviously they felt like they were bothering the energy in there, and that it wanted to be left alone. So you can try, but sometimes the ghostie's just going to be like, shh, no,
Shh.
I'm busy.
I do love that one.
And it's polite too.
I do love that one.
It's polite. This one, not so polite. This is not what I would want to have happen to me. Some Ouija boards and stories can be violent. When Anna was in high school, she had a sleepover with a bunch of her friends. It's always at a sleepover. One of them, Brianna, wanted to use the Ouija board to contact her grandfather. who had recently passed away. The friends set up the board, turned off the lights, and lit a candle. They called upon the spirit of the grandfather, but when they did, the candle suddenly threw itself directly at Anna. She was okay. That could have been really, really bad, though. She felt like it probably was not the spirit they had called for.
Or maybe it was her grandpa being like, don't do this.
I would hope
Don't
that
do it.
a spirit that I enjoyed wouldn't throw a candle at my face to warn
Yeah,
me. Maybe it
yeah.
would be a little bit more gentle.
That is rude.
It's a touch violent
It
for a
is.
board game.
A touch.
Yeah, a hair.
I have heard some Ouija board stories. And now I'm saying Ouija. It's not Ouija,
Ouija,
right?
Ouija.
Is it Ouija?
There's a whole bunch of
Is it Ouija?
different. You can do Ouija or Ouija.
Okay. You got me on the Ouija.
I like saying Ouija.
So I'm curious to hear if you have any stories about the thing I'm thinking of. So I'm gonna listen.
Okay.
Like the freakiest of all the things.
You know, the really freaky stuff was hard to find because I feel like it's a little dramatized, but I got a few. I got a few more. Okay.
Could be.
This happened in some dorms, college town. So my note here is just don't stay in a dorm room. I didn't
That's
have a good
really good
time.
advice.
You might have a
It's
good
not a
time,
good time.
but yeah, good luck. Sorry if you're there.
Might be. Depends. Could be a good time. Might not be.
I'm not here to say, but this is what happened in these dorms. Woohoo! When Tommy was a freshman in college, he and his dorm mate took out a Ouija board and had a threatening encounter with some very dark spirits. The dorm hall used to be a morgue. Fantastic place for a dorm, don't you? Don't you think? Don't you think so? They're like,
Don't think so.
we just put a little color over here, put some blinds in over there. It's like a whole new dorm room. Doesn't even look like a morgue.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm kind of in shock about that. That's really, really pretty terrible.
Yeah, if I knew
But
that, I would be
okay.
like, again, I will not be staying here. But thank you.
For even double the reasons I had before. All
And
right.
this was in New York, and it was the perfect setting for hanging out with friends, even though it was a morgue. And he thought, but they failed to realize how serious it could get. So the planchette began to move on the board, and the spirit or spirits communicated to them that there were 83 demons that would be coming for them. That's an aggressive amount.
That's
Surely,
an aggressive amount.
surely all you need is several. But
Oh my god,
I
do
thought
you need
I
several?
thought 43 from one of our first episodes was an alarming amount. And 83 is
That's
again is
right.
just topping the charts of how
Well,
these things can come in strudes and get you.
I will say that my most feared story that I was wondering if you were going to talk about was just one demon.
Oh.
One. And now you've told me about 80,
Yeah, no, I
83?
thought that this warranted more airtime than one demon. I was like, "Oh, 83? You win, story." That's the most
That's
I've ever
aggressive.
heard. That's I would be concerned. I would be like, "Oh
Y-
my god. I don't even know how to deal with one, yet
Other
83."
people were crying over much less.
Yes. Yeah. Um again, nothing's haunting me yet. I'm still scared that there's something in my closet and I know it's nothing. 83 demons?
Listen,
That's a lot. That's a lot on your back. That's a lot to unpack. Okay. Okay.
just so you know, I'm keeping an eye on you. You're
I see.
good.
I see.
You're
I
fine.
feel like you keep looking like behind me. I feel like you're
No, I
watching my
don't.
space, which is
No,
great.
girl. No, because now you know. I'll tell you
You will tell me.
if I see something.
Great.
Plus, you can see my face, so even if I didn't tell you, you would still know something's up.
Okay.
I
I
I
feel
can't hide
confident.
any. There's no secrets here.
Oh my god, Allison is in here.
Oh my god, no, she's not.
Yeah, she's right behind me. Hi, Alice.
Alice,
She's just sleeping on some blankets.
I told you that it was an Alice hair.
My blanket is gray and she's gray, so she just blends in like camouflage. That's
See,
cute. I'm
you have great keen senses. You felt like you weren't alone. You weren't.
and it was you the whole time.
The
Fantastic.
most benevolent of all creatures, Allison.
Yeah, I would definitely need her support if I was going to handle 83 demons. Now, the next thing, the dorm is haunted. So, that the games I don't know how they end to the game. But after this, now the dorm room is just super haunted. The whole dorm is haunted after this. And it's like, oh my god, you haunted your entire dorm room. And it was in the girls' dorm room. And so the girls couldn't sleep because stuff was turning on and off and messing with them. So they had a priest come in to bless the room and the dorms. And then it was okay afterwards. Thank God. Somehow they were able to handle those 83 demons. Um, and this gentleman wrote, "That's why I don't mess with Ouija boards anymore."
Ah, oh, that's okay. Good advice.
I would agree.
Maybe not in a morgue. Maybe let's not do that.
Yeah, not where things are already there. I guess that's where people do it though, huh? Um, so this next piece is called "Don't Blame the Game?" Question mark?
Question mark?
Curious, right?
Do tell.
February 2012. A teenager in Texas was stabbed in the stomach, which is awful. And like, oh my god,
Wow, that came on
it
quick.
was very fast. Um,
Shit.
and they were stabbed in the stomach by a friend who claimed the Ouija board made me do it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. As expected, a case was built around this person, but it was for an insanity plea. So they were like, yeah, no, you're just crazy. But it does make you wonder, why would a teenager just randomly stab one of their good friends?
I need more information on that one.
I still
Because it
say,
could be one of those.
don't blame the game. Because you have to have
Mm.
something slightly in you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's curious. That's one where I would really love to unpack
The
and
whole
get
story.
like a whole bunch of information on that.
Yeah.
Because I would like to make an informed decision about
Wouldn't we
such a thing.
all? I don't do
Yeah.
I don't do concrete facts though. So again, you're just
Why
floating in the interstellar of the
I
Ouija.
accept.
Okay,
I
I've got
accept.
one more short story here, which I feel like kind of goes to show how serious these things can get, and ultimately, do you really know who you're talking to? This is my
No,
last
you don't.
question.
Okay.
18 years old. Estefina? 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 I think that's how it's pronounced. Gutierrez Lazaro. Her boyfriend had died 6 months previously, and she used a Ouija board to try to contact him. Apparently, she did, but things got nasty, allegedly leading to a horrible haunting in her house. Lazaro suffered hallucinations. She ended up talking to shadowy figures in the house and had to seek medical treatment over time. Doctors were baffled by the seemingly healthy young woman and suspected that she had suffered a psychotic episode. She began to experience seizures. She then fell into a short coma, but passed away from apparent heart and lung failure.
She died?
Mm-hmm. And I
Oh my god.
believe, yeah, 18 years old. So I believe she was like either just 18 or in her early 20s when she passed.
I didn't expect you to hit me with that. That escalated quickly.
That's why I'm saying, like, you don't. And maybe she did have some pre conditions, but you don't know. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know how mentally sound you are. I hope that you do. But apparently, some of these, it can crack people. They can be violent. They don't want to talk to you sometimes. It can be positive every once in a while. They don't like being thrown out. They will return. And don't use it alone. Take it cereal. Say goodbye.
Maybe don't even say hello.
Exact. Now you're getting it.
You got
By
me.
Jove, she's on the ship.
What? I love being on the ship. It's my favorite place to be.
So, a little bit of devil's advocate here. There is, while this is, very big in the paranormal world as far as being able to communicate, like, and how does this piece on the board actually move without someone moving it? And if someone is moving it, would they be able to tell that they were moving it? But that's not necessarily the case. So science chalks this movement up to a, something called an action, ideomotor actions, or an unconscious reflex. So our muscles do make it happen, but we are absolutely unaware that we're even moving it. So there's been like a lot of experiments and studies on this with the Ouija board where like people like swear to God they're not moving it, but it actually is one of them moving it, and they're all just like super like they don't have awareness that it's them actually moving it. So it seems like it is an outside force. But it is a thing, ideomotor action.
Okay, well, even if it's this idiomotor action, what if that is how whatever you're talking to is channeling through
Possible.
you,
Yeah, I can see that too.
potentially?
I still think that, don't mess with it. I just, like,
Because you've
Never,
never done it,
no,
right?
I've never done it, but I remember stories from people. Like it's somewhat, there was one story that I had someone tell me, and it was an adult, and they were like, yeah, and this was when I was little, so I don't know exactly the details. But they were like, yeah, I played with the Ouija board, and then there were a couple nights after that where I'd be woken up in the middle of the night, thrown out of my bed, thrown against a wall. I would get scratches on me, and like that scared the crap out of me. I was like, I don't want to give access to anything. I, no, it's not worth it.
Well, geez, that's traumatizing. All
Mm-hmm.
right, that's fair.
But you
I mean, I
did,
have, yeah.
you
So,
crazy.
I've felt, and
You did feel it move, didn't you? Because it was
I,
something. No, no, no. I'm saying, but you felt it like move on its own.
I for sure did, and I'm trying to think about how many times I did it growing up, because like it was you would break it out at
How
like
many
sleepovers.
times,
Ooh, now I'm in trouble.
Caitlin? Oh
Ah!
my god!
Listen,
I'm so glad that you're okay, but dang,
I'm fine. It didn't bother
I'm
me, but
fine.
there's one time that I definitely remember. And then there's one story that I have from
Please,
someone.
please tell me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll start with the less morbid story first, but I had to have been between 11 and 13, and I was at a sleepover, and it was nighttime, and it was at my friend's house, so it wasn't at my house.
Smart.
And yeah, that's the only way I would do it. But we all had our hands on the planchette, and and I think everyone does this, especially at a sleepover, like, "Oh, you're moving it," like, and and
Mm-hmm.
and I had to be like, "I know I'm not moving it. Someone has got to be moving it. There's enough of us here. Someone is moving it." And everyone swears they weren't moving it, yada yada yada. Totally could have been, but swears that they weren't moving it. And I remember we asked something along the lines of how many spirits are here. And it started with like one. And I think we kept asking, and every time we asked, the number would go up
Oh
by
God.
like a lot.
Oh God.
Yeah, by like a lot. And then it started going back down. The number of spirits went back down.
Oh,
And if I remember correctly, so, like, obviously this is, like, 20 years ago.
I won't hold it
But
to you.
okay, thank you. But what I remember happening is that the one spirit ended up being, a male. We were able to find that out. And we were like, "How old are you?" And at first, the spirit was, um, I think at first the spirit was really, really old. And I don't know why, I can't remember why we kept asking the same question over and over again, but I think we would ask different
But you
questions and
also
then we
you're
would circle
probably
back
like,
to
I
it.
wonder like how smart it is. Like it should say the same thing if it's real.
That might have been it. I don't think I was the,
You weren't the
in
leader,
charge of the
yeah, of
questions.
any type.
Yeah.
Just along
I
for
was
the
just
ride.
going along with it. I just had my hand on the planchette. All I remember is somehow the spirit started off old, and then the spirit became our age. This one male spirit. There's hardly any spirits, then there were a ton of them, and then there was one of them, and the one was a guy, and he was really old, and then he was our age, and we're like, what did we end up asking? I can't remember, but we found out, we're like, "Do you like anyone?" or something stupid like
What?
that.
Don't ask
Yeah.
that.
It's a stupid question, or like, "Why are you here?" or something like that, and I remember it spelling out my friend's name, and I remember her name, but I don't know if I should say it. Um, I remember it spelled out her name,
Oh
and
no.
I'm pretty sure we ended up saying goodbye that night, but I think my friend was worried, so the next morning, we did the Ouija board again,
Oh God, no.
and we asked if there was anyone here, and it ended up being, one male spirit that same age. I don't think we got a name, and I can't remember what we asked, but it definitely said something along the lines of it was going to leave with my friend.
Oh my God.
And I remember
Like you,
my other friends
just
and I talking,
don't.
and we were like, "She definitely moved it. Like, she was definitely the one moving it, right?" You're like, "Yeah."
I wouldn't want to sick that on me.
And this friend of mine was not okay to begin with. So,
Oh, easy
I don't
target.
know.
Oh my God.
She definitely could have been. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. She could have been the one moving it,
Yeah,
for attention. Who knows? Who knows? All I know is that I was not moving it. I wasn't.
that is so
And that was
interesting,
freaky.
and you felt it. That's crazy.
I
I
definitely did.
the fact that you guys opened it up again, I think that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Just giving it
One
more.
of many mistakes.
Yeah, what a mini, but geez, I'm
But like I said, didn't bother me.
yeah, you're fine. Great
I'm fine.
sleepover. That was great.
Bothered my friend. Thank you so much. Good luck with your ghost. Goodbye.
Had a
Well,
great
and but
time,
it
Mr.
wasn't
and
even
Mrs. Casey. See you next
oh
time.
god. Well, and it wasn't the girls whose house we were staying at, it hadn't named her. It had named one of the other girls.
Do,
So
do you remember if it did follow her?
I don't know if I asked. All I know is that she was she was not okay for a number of other reasons. So
Okay,
yeah,
well,
it's like kind of sad, but potentially. So there's there's all that speculation, but that's what I remember of the most freaky incident that had occurred when I played the Ouija board. And then the only other one that I'll leave you with. Um, do you mind if I get really morbid
oh,
real quick?
please, please.
Okay, great. Um, so yeah, how do I introduce this? I don't know. Basically, our darling mother used to be a camp counselor, and she told me a story about how she was playing the Ouija board. She was telling me how to not like why I shouldn't mess with Ouija boards, and that how she had been playing it as a camp counselor one year, and someone at their school had recently committed suicide. Very sad.
Hmm.
And they were trying to reach out to this person. And so they had asked the Ouija board, "Where is so and so?" And it spelled out HELL.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, and because that's I think what the Bible says happens if you commit suicide.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I think
I
it is
don't know.
some, or yeah, you're not. I think you're on the same. You're on the right
It
track.
it frowns upon it. It speaks of consequences, and I don't agree with that. But that's what our darling mother said. It said, and how freaked out she was about it. Um, and isn't it ironic that she met a
Oh.
similar fate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Listen.
um, I don't think you go to hell.
No,
I think you might get stuck in
yeah,
limbo.
I think you
I
might
think you
get
get
stuck in limbo, or like maybe
yeah.
both of those realms are a construct, but at the same time,
Well,
what? Take
we're
a.
not here to say.
I am here to nag, though, and say take a lesson from
Speak.
your own damn book, which
Eh.
you did not. Rude.
Well, she was also known to tell a fib or two, to
That's,
be fair.
to be fair, just a tiny white lie here or there.
Just
Bless.
a bit of a fib here and there.
God bless your soul.
So she could have completely pulled it out of her ass.
Yeah, but that's
We know
a.
not.
I mean, it's not too crazy though. It's like it's believable, and that's
It
scary.
is believable.
And I'm
And it's
pretty sure
spooky.
she also was like. I'm pretty sure that's why I have such a fear of it, because she was like, she like grabs my face, Josie,
Ah,
Josie, don't do it, don't
oh
do the
God.
Ouija board. Yes, mom.
Oh my goodness. Oh God, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry for even thinking about the Ouija board.
Oh God. I love how you're thrashing.
I'm
That
always I'm
really.
always just thrashing around my inner dialogue.
And that's why we have the video. Well, I am pretty freaked out. The only other thing that I was wondering if you were going to tell me about was the freakiest Ouija board stories that I've heard involve a certain demon that's really well known
Oh, Zio,
and is
Zio.
really easy to spell on the Ouija board. Exactly.
Dude, I saw
Yes.
so many stories about that, and I was just like,
You did?
yeah,
About the Zio Zio?
yeah, there were a bunch, and for whatever reason, I was like, I'm not down. I'm not down to
No.
talk about it. I'm not. I'm
Oh,
good. I'm good.
I'm good.
If it's so easy, and if everyone can just talk to this thing, no, again, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, I had where
Honestly,
people were like, "Oh yeah, it was like saying it was my grandma," but then it was like, "JK," blah.
oh my
And it was
God.
like, "Yeah, no, 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 no."
It is really freaky that it's that common, and I think if anything you've said at all would deter me from using a Ouija board, it would be that, because it's so common to talk to this very specific entity,
It's not worth
and it's
it.
ready and raring to go. It's ready to talk to you whenever you'd like,
Yeah, I don't
and you
like.
don't want.
Nope,
You don't like.
nope. And
Don't do it.
that's why
For
I'm like, if I did wanna, and I do, I have people that I want to talk to. But you know what? I'll wait my fucking turn. I'll
That's
wait.
right, because it's not going to be them.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be something else being like, "Oh, I swear to God, I'm who you want." I'm gonna be like,
That's right.
"No." So
Nuh-uh.
do yourself, do yourself some justice, and just don't.
You know what? You got me. I was feeling rebellious at the beginning of this, and no longer.
I think my whole goal here was to deter people from using a Ouija board, but I'll tell you about it.
Sure will.
Sure.
Well, and I bet the number of Ouija board uses goes way up in this fantastic month of October. So, at your own peril,
Ooh,
people.
and if you are super interested, you should look up the world's biggest Ouija board because it is fucking huge. It is now currently, yeah, someone did this. They were like, huh, I'm going to make the largest Ouija board in the world. And now it's on, how do I say this? It's the ceiling of a building now. It's the roof of a building. Like it was on the ground and it's so big they were like, yeah, we can just put it on the building, and they even have a ginormous planchette. So obviously you can't like really use it. And I
Or
would
can
be
you?
horrified if something massive did use it. I'm sure like every like you
Something massive.
I don't want to know. I don't want to make contact with anything that big that can use
What if
it.
you just got a whole group of people?
And then you're all like hanging on to the edge and you're just
Yeah.
going for a ride and they're like,
Yeah.
is that you with your tippy toes?
Damn it. Well, then you would
Um,
know for sure.
but it is
That's
massive.
horrifying.
And
Don't do that.
look at a picture of it though, because it is interesting.
That's horrifying. That scary demon probably lives in that house now.
Building.
Oh, great. Building.
Building.
So much better.
Mm-hmm.
Haunted building now. I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, great. Good job. You scared me. You win. I'm spooked.
Fantastic. Now you're a little bit smarter in this realm.
I so appreciate it.
Hmm.
I've learned many things, and I appreciate how you listed the lessons as you went.
There's a lot, so keep those in mind. Just say goodbye.
You remember anything. Don't say hello.
Say goodbye.
Lesson number 1.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right, Josie. Well, I appreciate you, and this is a good one. This is a good one for October, for the spookiest of seasons. So I really appreciate it, and I'm wondering what kind of cool graphic we're going to have for this particular episode, because they've been pretty on point so far. So we could just post a Ouija board.
There you go. We'll figure it out.
It's going to be cool, though. If you want to see what that is, then please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Something Spookish. We would appreciate it if you visited our Patreon page to sprinkle a little support upon our persons. Proceeds will be going back into the podcast so that we can keep doing this because it's a lot of fun. I love being scared, and especially being scared by none other than mine own dear sister.
Got you.
Hey, thumbs up.
Here for it.
And Josie, I'm pretty sure brand new to our Something Spookish realm is a YouTube channel.
Oh, that it is. It's a baby something spookish YouTube. It's been bored. It's got some videos of our faces on there. If you like
It's been born.
if you like our voices, you can check out our faces.
They have been fun. I do enjoy it all the more because I did miss when we first started, we did it in person. Now that we're a little bit along, we've been doing it separately. But now that we have video, I feel like we're doing it in person again.
It's good. It's
So
good. It's been
magical
fun.
for me.
So it's a whole different feel. Check it out. And
A whole nother layer.
that link is
spooky.
in our show notes. If you just want to flip on over, you can find the video in the show notes.
That's right. Enjoy. Let us know. Be nice. Please. Good vibes. Kind vibes. Constructive criticism by all means. Oh, and you'll get to see Alice. Oh, look at this gigantic baby of a lump. Oh my god, I love her. Oh, she looks pissed. Oh my god, I love her so much. The only other thing that we ask is if you do enjoy the show, please review our podcast wherever you listen. It would mean a lot to us. And also participate in our giveaway. We've got some pretty cool merchandise now available. Not for sale, but for free if you win our giveaway.
Woohoo!
Like this thing right here. Ooh, yes. So visit our Instagram to learn more about that. We're really excited. And if it goes well enough, then maybe we can start offering some of our merchandise. Besides that, I am pretty freaked out, Josie. So just to be safe, I'm going to send you some light.
Aw. Then I send you light.
Have some. Thank you. I
Excellent.
accept. And dear listener, we also send you light. Take the light.
Love you.
Be the light. Have the light. We love you. Don't be scared. Be well. Be light.
Fantastic.
All right. Fantastic. Well done, Josie. And until next time.
Oh, man. Stay spooky.
Stay